Hello everyone. In this lecture we will see what is runway length, and we'll also see what is the basic runway length, what are the assumptions that we need to consider, and finally we are going to see what are the different types of landing like normal landing, normal takeoff and stopping in emergency. In this lecture we are restricting our discussion only to normal landing and normal takeoff. In the next lecture we'll try to see what is stopping in emergency. So with this we'll start with the runway length. Yeah. So selecting a design runway length is one of the most important decision a airport designer makes, right? You can see here this is a runway what we have, and here also this is a runway, right? So there are certain length to this runway, right, from here to here, right? Let me do it in this way. There's a certain length from here to here, right? So what should be this length? All this we need to do the calculation, because once the aircraft comes here from the taxiway, it's going to speed up from here and finally it's going to do a takeoff from here. So in order to achieve that much amount of speed and finally to take off, we need to have sufficient length of the runway. So that is the main idea. Yeah. So to a large degree the runway length determines the size and cost of the airport and controls the type of car aircraft it will serve, and also it may limit the payload of the critical aircraft and length of a journey it can fly. The runway must be long enough to allow safe landing, like I mentioned. Even the landing is going to happen here, even the takeoff is going to happen here. Right. The runway must be long enough to allow safe landings and takeoffs by current equipment and by future aircraft expected to use the aircraft, right? Expected to use the airport. So whenever you try to do the design of these runways and all, keeping future expansion of the airport and all, like in future there are chances few heavy aircraft may land here and all. So keeping those things in mind, we need to do the runway design, right? Yeah. So this is a basic explanation that is required for the runway length. Now coming to the factors, the following factors most strongly influence the required runway length. The first is the performance characteristic of a aircraft using the airport. Second is landing and takeoff gross weight of the aircraft. Elevation of the airport, where exactly is your airport, on what elevation from the mean sea level, what at what height you are constructing the airport. Average maximum air temperature at the airport, because in the next lecture we'll be trying to see how this temperature correction has to be uh, you know corrected. So even that also plays a very important role. Average maximum air temperature at the airport. Runway gradient in the sense, what is a gradient? Now you can see it is exactly straight. Sometimes it may be a bit, it may have a gradient here and there. So even that also comes into play. So other factor causing the variation in the required runway length are humidity, the wind, the nature and the condition of the runway surfaces. So all these are the factors which mostly influence the runway length. Now coming to the basic runway length, sometimes they ask you um, what are the conditions that we need to consider for a basic runway length. Then these are the things that we are supposed to write. The length of a runway based on the following assumed condition is known as a basic runway length. First is that no wind is blowing on the runway. We always assume that no wind is running on the, or no wind is blowing on the runway. The second is the aircraft is loaded to its full loading capacity, right? So it's very simple. Let us say if there is a huge wind and all, and if the aircraft is not loaded, then what will happen? There are chances your aircraft may tilt here and there. So always when we try to do this, we assume that whatever the aircraft I have, it is full loaded. The third is the airport is situated at the sea level. Next is there is no wind blowing on the way to the destination. Wherever it's going to take off, there is no wind blowing in that particular area. The runway is leveled in the longitudinal direction, or in other words, it has zero effective gradient. Let us say this is a gradient of a runway what I have drawn. Okay, so this RL is a reduced level, and this is the highest point of this runway. Let us say the RL is 100 here, 100 meter, and this is the lowest point of the runway where RL is 50. And this distance from here to here, we will consider this as BRL, that is basic runway length, which we are going to consider 1050 meter. Now effective gradient EG is equal to, how we are going to find it? 100, this is the highest point, minus the lowest point, that is 100 minus 50. You divide this by the basic runway length, which comes out to be, okay, made a mistake here. Make this as 1000 only instead of 1050. We'll do this 1000. Okay, divided by 1000. So this is that effective gradient what we are supposed to get. So here it is written, the runway is leveled in a longitudinal direction, or in other words, it has zero effective gradient. So here you see we are getting a certain gradient. This is not equal to 0, isn't it? But in the assumption that assuming it to be 0, then we need to put the corrections for this. In order to make it 0, we have to do the correction for this. So those things we'll try to see in the numericals, how this temperature correction. Now you saw the temperature has to be constant. 15 degrees Celsius is the temperature what we take at the airport. But practically that is not possible to, you know, maintain this temperature. Then we have to apply a correction factor for the temperature. Then also for the elevation we have to do, and also for this gradient what you are seeing it here, right? For this also we need to do. Yeah, it's written here. The standard temperature is maintained along the way. The standard temperature of 15 degrees Celsius exists at the airport. This may not be possible every time. Then you have to apply the correction. But these are the certain assumptions that we do initially for the basic runway length. So once these things are done, next we have to see what are the types of landing. The manner in which an aircraft actually performs the landing and takeoff will decide to a large extent the length of a runway. In this, we have first is a normal landing, then we have a normal takeoff, and then we have stopping in emergency. So in this lecture, we'll try to see what is normal landing and what is normal takeoff. So just we'll go through this once and then we'll try to understand this. I'll go to the theory first. What is written here? It's written normal landing as shown in the figure. Okay, this is a figure. You can concentrate on this figure as well as this figure. The aircraft should come to a stop within 60% of the landing distance, assuming that the pilot makes an approach at the proper speed and crosses the threshold of a runway at a height of 15 meter. What is trying to tell? This is this entire length what you can see here, right? From here to here. This is my runway, or let us say this is my runway. So when the aircraft is at this distance, right? When the aircraft is here, this height from the end of your runway, or end in the sense beginning of the runway, which is called a threshold, this height of your aircraft should be 15 meter. And now once it reaches 15 meter, from here the pilot will slowly, try to do a landing. Slowly is going to come down, come down, come down, and finally is going to touch this, right? And then he is going to apply the brakes, and finally there is one point where the aircraft will come to stop. So this particular distance from here, right, from this threshold to here, it should be 60% of the landing distance. Where is the landing distance? My landing distance will start from here to this end, this entire runway. But this normal landing is that which will utilize 60% of the landing distance. So to put it in a better way, let us consider, you know the length of my runway is 1000 meter, right? The length of my runway is 1000 meter. So what will be my normal landing? Take 60% of this, which comes out to be 600. That means the moment my aircraft will come to stop from this threshold, it has to stop at a distance of 600 meters. 60% of 1000 comes out to be 600 meter, right? Yeah, so this is a complete theory what we are supposed to understand. The next point is the beginning of a runway portion to be used as a landing is known as threshold or the point of entry. I'll delete everything. This point what you're getting to see here, right? So this is a threshold, right? The beginning of a runway portion. The Yeah, now one thing you need to ask me, if my aircraft is going to come and land here, right, come and land here, then what about this portion, right? So this entire thing is a runway for me. But whenever we do the runway design and all the pavement design, we are going to make my pavement completely. Just because my aircraft is coming and stopping here, this is, I'm not going to use it. But still, when you try to design this particular runway, you have to design this entire runway for the full strength. You can see here the runway of full strength pavement is provided for the entire landing distance. Even though your aircraft will come and finally it's going to stop here, up to here, from beyond this distance your aircraft is not going to come, right? Let us consider. So that means the load coming on this much portion is less. So if load coming on this, then the pavement thickness required will be also less, right? Technically speaking. But practically we don't try to do that. Practically whatever thickness we are giving, whatever material we are going to use it here, no, same thing we are going to continue here. So that is what you mean by the third point, right? Yeah. Now it's the same thing. You can try to draw this diagram, or even you can try to draw this diagram. It's the same explanation. So the moment your aircraft comes, it will be at a height of 15 meter, and from here it's going to come down. Finally it's going to touch the ground, and then the pilot is going to apply the brake, and finally this is the point where it's going to stop. So this distance has to be 60% of the landing distance, and my landing distance will be from here to this end. And this entire portion what you're seeing, this is called as runway. Now to put it in an animated way, you can see it here. Yeah, this is my aircraft coming. Let me go back. See, this aircraft is about to land now. Now this height, no, from here it is at the height of 15 meter. Yeah, so it's coming, and finally it's going to touch the ground, and now it's going to applying the brake. So once it applies the brake, it's going to come and stop at this particular point. So this distance, what it has covered, what it has traveled from here to here, it has to be 60% of the landing distance, right? So this is a normal landing. Now coming to the next is a normal takeoff. Again, we'll try to go through the theory part of this, then we'll come to the application of this. Yeah, so the takeoff distance, we call this takeoff distance as TOD, must be for a specific weight of an aircraft 115% of the actual distance the aircraft uses to reach a height of 10.5 meter as shown in the figure. The distance to reach a height of 10.5 meter should be equal to 115% of the lift off distance. You're not able to understand, we'll try to see that, but let me finish this off. The normal takeoff requires a clear way, which is defined as an area beyond the runway not less than 150 meter wide, centrally located about the extended center line of the runway and under the control of airport authorities. So what it's trying to tell, it's very simple. So let me try to delete this. Yeah, so try to look into these diagrams, you're going to get a better idea. Yeah, let us say here is, this is my runway this time. Okay, I'm going to come here from here, and finally I'm going to do a takeoff like this, right? Yeah, so he's trying to tell us this distance what we have, no, from the end of this, or from the beginning of this runway or end of this runway to this distance what I have, this is called as lift off distance. LOD stand for lift off distance. You can see it's written here, LOD is a lift off distance. So what is this lift off? Lift off is that distance where the aircraft is about to take off and the tires of the aircraft are not in touch with the runway. That means, see, once my aircraft is going to speed up, right, let us say you're going to do a takeoff activity now. So first the aircraft will be here, it's going to come, it is going to take up the speed, and finally it's going to come up, right? So this particular point where it's going to take off, right, where the both the, I mean, the front and the rear wheels of the aircraft not in contact with the runway, we call this as a lift off distance, right? And once that is done, it's going to reach up to this point. This shouldn't have come here. Okay, this is not correct. What you do, follow this one, this distance, no, this will be 10.5. You can see it here, observe in this figure. You can see from here it's a lift off distance, and finally it is going to take a height. So the height of 10.5 meter, where the aircraft reaches a height of 10.5 meter from here, will be at what distance, right? This elevation, whenever the aircraft is going to gain a height of 10.5 meter, this length from here to here should be how much? This length should be how much? This length should be 115% of LOD. That means whatever is your lift off distance, 115% of that distance from here to here, this should be your distance. At that time, at this distance of 115 of LOD, the height of my aircraft should be 10.5 meter. That means, in a very simple way, when the aircraft is at a height of 10.5 meter, this distance from here to here has to be 115% of LOD. Now to put it in a better way, let us consider the LOD is 100. Okay, this distance from lift off distance to the start of the runway to here, let us consider it has to be 100 meter, just in case. Then what would have been your lift of this distance? 100% of LOD will come out to be 115 meter. That means when my aircraft is at a elevation or at a height of 10.5 meter, it should, you know, travel a distance of 115 meter from here, right? Yeah. And after that, what is going to happen? Let us say, okay, for the second figure, don't get confused here, because here they have shown 10.5 meter here, they shouldn't have shown it here. This is the 10.5 meter at the end of a runway. Yeah, now see, after this what will happen, this angle will be maintained, this angle will be maintained, this angle will be maintained, isn't it? So that is a reason, beyond this I'm not going to do any construction, right? If I do a building construction, what is going to happen? It's going to obstruct here, right? So that is why I'm not going to do any construction. So that is the reason we call that as a clear way. You can see here, this is a plan of that. Okay, this is a runway plan, in the sense you're seeing it from the top. Now you see this will end up here. Okay, this will end up here. So this distance what we have, no, from here to here, This much is a clear way for me. Here, I mean, in this much portion, I'm not going to allow any construction to happen, right? So hence it is called as clear way. Yeah, you can. And what should be this width of that? This width has to be minimum 150 meter. This width, what you're supposed to keep for the clear way, has to be 150 meter, right? So this was the entire explanation for that. Yeah, and then the last one thing you have, the last one point is about a TOD, that is takeoff distance. Now the distance from the start of the runway to this complete distance, okay, where your aircraft has reached this position, is called as takeoff distance, which is called as TOD. You can see the TOD written here. Okay, yeah, from here to this end, this distance will be TOD, right? Yeah. Now what will be this distance? There is something written here, clear way should not be more than half of this distance. That means this pending distance what we have, no, from this lift off distance from here to this takeoff distance, this this will be the clear way. The clear way should not be more than half of this distance. This clear way what we have, this clear way what we have, this should not be more than half of this distance. That means, let us say if my TOD is 150 meter, I'm considering some random values, and LOD is 100. So 150 minus 100 comes out to be how much? 150 minus 100 comes out to be 50 meter. So half of that will be how much? 25. So this clear way what I have, no, this clear way from here to here, this should not be more than 25 meter. So how do you get this? Whatever is your TOD, deduct LOD out of that, and whatever is that, half of that value you are going to get, no, that should not be more than the, I mean, this value, the clear way, this length should not be more than half of this TOD minus LOD. Yeah. Now you can see it here. It will start from here, and finally it's going to come here and take off. So this takeoff distance, no, from here it was, I'll play it here. Okay, let's consider my runway is going to start from here, right? It's going to speed up, your aircraft is going to speed up, and now it's going to take off. Now at this point it has lost the contact, so that is called as LOD. And this distance, now at this particular height of 10.5 meter, this distance what is traveled will be 115% of LOD. Yeah, and this is a plan of that, as I shown. This is a runway and this is a clear way. This will be 150 meter minimum you have to keep. Yeah. Now what is clear way? It is the area beyond the runway and which is in alignment with the line of a runway. That means this particular area what you can see here. Yeah. So whatever is the center line of your runway, no, whatever is the center line of, for that we are going to align this clear way. So that is the reason they have written it here. It is an area beyond the runway. Of course, this area what you can see clearly, it is beyond the runway and it is in alignment with the line of runway. Whatever is the center line of your runway, no, the same center line you are going to align for the clear way, right? So this was all about the normal takeoff. In the next lecture we'll try to see the emergency one, and then we'll try to take up some other topics. So we'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.